Welcome to Deep Thought. Re-examine your beliefs. Re-examine your beliefs. Because I'm going to tell you what, the thing that hurts people more than anything are their beliefs, particularly their false beliefs. Like they might believe, like in relationships, you get some people, regardless of how other people perceive them, they perceive themselves as unattractive. They'll say, "Oh, people don't want me. I'm ugly. Or they'll say, like in other areas, oh, I'm not smart enough to do something, or they don't believe that they can accomplish something." But the problem is, it's not based on any truth. Because one, they don't know how other people see them. Okay, like I used the example of people who consider themselves unattractive. A lot of times, if you talk to them, if you were to ask them, well, how many people called you ugly or unattractive? And they might give like they might give like two instances, like far apart or something like that. But nothing like real, nothing like that's constant, because they'll seize on those two instances and then believe that's what happens all the time. Or when they trying to accomplish something in life, even though they've never actually tried it, really worked it, they'll think, oh, I'll fail at this. Because if you look at a lot of beliefs, it's a person's reaction to something, but it's not the reality. That's the issue. That is the big issue. Like a lot of people don't realize that. They get stuck in that way where they think something happened or somebody will tell them something. Like they might listen to somebody, it could even be somebody well-meaning, and they'll be like, well, they'll say, well, somebody told me I couldn't do this. Well, I didn't have the thing. Like they'll listen to an outsider. I was like, did you try it? And do they know you well enough? Do they know your skills? Like a lot of times we listen to outside of ourselves. Now, if you tried something, you worked on something, it just didn't work for you, okay, that's one thing. And that's fair. But how many people really try it, And they'll make the assumption that, that this is how it is based on those beliefs. And see, once you get those beliefs, you navigate life for them. You navigate your way throughout life. And, you know how I always say it. I'm not no guru on top of the mountain, so I've been through all of this. I have been through all of this. And I was, it's to this day, I have to confront stuff because I'll say, nah, this won't happen. But then I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is what happened, actually. And I was just like, wow. And people need to think about that because I'm going to tell you what, they don't really stop you from succeeding. Let's just be real with it. They don't, because people think, well, the man is keeping me from making money. The man is keeping me from doing what I need to do. No, it's not really the man. It's always something within you. Because that's one of the tricks out here. People will tell you stuff and they'll say stuff based on everything. It could be your gender, could be your race, could be your religion, and they'll say, oh, you can't do it. And sometimes people will come out with some studies, say, well, this study said this. I'm like, they didn't interview me for that study. And people need to think about that. So people need to re-examine every belief that they have, every single belief, everything. Ask, what is this based on? What are my feelings when this particular situation based on? That have I actually gone through this? Have I actually faced this to know that this is what would happen? Not hardly. In most cases, no, it hasn't happened that way. And see, people got it. Oh man, I see that a lot. Because come on now, if y'all follow me on this channel, yeah, I know I always talk about false beliefs. Because, and I've said this, I've done inspirational messages on this, a lot of stuff on this. Most people, 99.9% of the population is working off of a false belief. They might believe like everybody in the opposite sex is just naturally evil, naturally bad. Or they might believe, if they meet someone This person mightn't abandon them, or they feel like they entitled to something, or they feel like in order to get the love they want, they have to control that member of the opposite sex. Or they feel like, oh, this person is just going to dominate me. So I have to like find my ways to rebel. Or they feel like, hey, I can find love without expressing my true inner feelings. We can stay superficial. And as we see out here, that doesn't work. And I see that with people on jobs, like not just in a relationship thing, just navigating life. A lot of people don't think they can make it. You know what? I remember this woman, and this woman, she had a lot going on. And I told her, and you know what? She made a meal for me one time, right? And it was totally platonic and stuff because I was married at the time. She made a meal for me and my family. And I was like, man, you can cook. I was like, you can cook. She made me some chicken wings, right? But she didn't feel like she could do it. I was like, well, shoot, you could get a business. But she kept coming up with ways she couldn't. I was like, have you tried? And she was like, no, but I don't know if I can. I was like, based on what? Have you tried it? Now, ultimately, unfortunately, I don't know if that's a good story in the sense that I don't know what happened to her afterwards. Kind of lost track of the person. But the thing is, that's an example of a story I've seen over and over with people. Haven't you seen situations where you could tell somebody would be good at something? They would be able to do some work in some area, but they just don't. I don't know. They don't believe in what they can do or what they can accomplish. And you're just like, wow, that's crazy. Some people, you can see the greatness within them, but they don't believe in themselves. And and you know what? That's all of us to some extent. Because I have seen so many people, including myself, including the person I look at in the mirror, had a potential for something. Hey, me doing this online, there was a point, I remember when I first started seeing YouTube videos, I was like, man, I wish I could do that. I didn't think I could. But that was a false belief. And luckily, I was able to go through some things that made me take it on anyway. I'm thankful for those things. But I actually could have been on here a long time. And I took it to it like fish to water, but I could have been doing this. And so that's everybody. Everybody has gone through it. So every single person listening, re-examine your beliefs. Think on this. Peace and blessings.